I know a lot of creatives who do struggle with this aspect. Hello YouTube, we are back. So obviously I'm hoping you guys have watched my last video. If not, go check it out right now before you watch this one, as this is kind of a series for me. If you've watched the last video, you know that I love to write everything that I'm saying out, or at least points of what I'm saying. This week, I really want to dive in on being vulnerable within the creative entrepreneur space and how much it has really helped me grow and build my community on Instagram, TikTok, and hopefully here on YouTube. Last week, I went on my Instagram to ask my fellow audience as well as my fellow creatives. I asked for their thoughts and opinions on being vulnerable, and if there's a point where you can overshare a little bit too much, whether it is in your personal life, business, literally whatever it may be. The first question that I had asked you guys to answer was, do you like when your favorite creators are open and honest on the internet? 76% of you say, yes, I love relating and feeling like I'm not alone. 4% of you, no, I feel like it's not necessary. And 20% of you saying, depends on how they open up. For me personally, I love when my favorite influencers, content creators, or even my friends within the creative space open up on the internet about any type of struggle they're going through. But I also think that how you approach it also matters. My next question was directed towards creatives. Do you think it helps you to see your fellow creatives open up with their struggles, i.e. personal, business, general life, etc.? 94% of you said yes, 6% of you said business yes, personal no, and 0 people said I rather just hear the wins. My full answer also kind of like ties back to question 1 as well, but I, again, love having my favorite creators being open and honest on the internet. I love knowing that I may not feel alone in certain aspects, that I'm not crazy sometimes for thinking the way that I think. I also love when people share their wins as well, because it also pushes me to want to continue what I'm doing, to know that I can do it right, or that I will get there eventually. I will have that exact same excitement. The next question was, do you think there is a point where you think someone will overshare too much? 9% of you said yes, keep it to yourself. 20% of you said keep sharing, makes me feel less alone. 49% of you said depends on what it's about. And 22% of you said I love people who overshare. For me, it depends for the most part. This one time there was this like fellow influencer within my hometown who really overshared in a way that like I really didn't need to know that information. It was her explaining how she, during fun times, her boyfriend would need to push her bush out of the way in order for them to continue. To me, that is one thing I could have gone my entire life without knowing. However, I think sharing any other aspect of your life is totally okay. But I love when people open up, again, about business, their wins and their fails, relationships, whether it's with family or friends or a significant other, and then just general life. And the next question I had for y'all to answer was, how do you feel about someone opening up about their mental health, friendships, and relationship struggles? 3% of you said, keep it to yourself. The world doesn't need to know. 65% of you said, I prefer following people who share these things. And 32% of you said, I think you can talk about it, but not too much. When I think about this question, for me, specifically when it comes to your mental health, I think that is a topic that needs to continuously be talked about. And for me personally, I enjoy sharing my life online. One, it kind of feels like a little public diary in a sense, you know, I can just like get out all my thoughts and feelings. I also have noticed that with me being vulnerable online and sharing, you know, a lot of my fails in life, that I do get an abundance of people reaching out to me, whether it's strangers or people that I know, about how much they do appreciate how open and honest I am and how much they relate to it. And I know a lot of the times people think, oh, like she's doing this for attention, or oh, she's looking for sympathy. She's making her life look so bad now and people aren't gonna wanna work with her. Brands aren't gonna wanna work with her. Oh, she's being so dramatic. Again, it's my life, and what I choose to share online is me being real and authentic. Like my life is messy, my life is crazy, and you know, there are a lot of things that I don't share online, but I think I share a lot of important things online that are also very relatable. For those who are vulnerable online, do you feel you create a better relationship with your community? 80% of you said absolutely, and 20% of you said not really. I kind of have been, you know, answering this throughout these like questions, but I definitely feel I build a better community and build better relationships with my audience when I am open and honest about things. And you know I can sometimes overshare a little bit too much, but at the end of the day, like, that is my truth, and those are the things that I struggle with in life, whether it is business and relationships and just literally general life. And I feel that I have gained a more engaged audience in a sense. I know the Instagram algorithm is just absolutely bonkers, but I just feel that even, you know, I've had people even tell me within the creative space that they love how authentic I am on the internet, and that is something that I excel in naturally, I guess. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. You know, I want people to feel like they're my friend as well, even when I don't know them, you know? The last one that I asked was, those in the creative space, do you struggle with being vulnerable? 52% of you said 100%. 24% of you said not at all. 24% of you said yes, but I am trying. And then none of you said, I rather my life just look perfect to the world. For me, I think that I don't really struggle with being vulnerable online for some reason as much as I do with being vulnerable within my space. So with friends, family, significant others, that is when I think I feel the hardest to be vulnerable. And that stems from between the ages of like 19 to 23. I went through a time where me opening up was seemed as crazy. Tried to, you know, be very open and honest with my friends and significant others about if something was bothering me, you know, or if there was like something I was upset about. I would try to communicate it in the best way that I could. And for the most part, I would be told I'm being unreasonable, dramatic, I was gaslit. And then it had me thinking, like, am I crazy just to like feel the way that I feel? And it got to the point where I was needing so much validation in just anything that I felt like I was being overdramatic about. I understand that opening up online and even just showing some sort of struggle in your life, big or small, is very hard, especially when it comes to the business side of things. I think for most people, that is probably the hardest thing to share online, because I feel like money, in a sense, is just a very like touchy subject, or, you know, failing within your career, getting fired, let go, being in debt. Like, people don't want to talk about those things. You don't want to look weak and that you're not good enough and that you look like a failure. I even struggle with sharing the business side of things for me, because I do try to make my online presence look like I don't struggle in that aspect. Especially because this is something that I'm so passionate about, and I don't want to look like I'm failing at it. It's crazy to see the amount of creatives within this space that struggle and never open up about it. And honestly, this is me being open and honest with you guys. I have been struggling, especially in November and December of 2024. I was struggling, and I think I'm slowly getting back out of that, and I'm slowly shifting to the career that I want. I know my life can look all glitz and glam on the internet, but the amount of times that I struggled within those 2 months figuring out, you know, what am I gonna do for groceries, my gas, like my bills, you know. I even literally went cold turkey on my meds because I would rather be able to afford groceries than pay for my meds, which is crazy. But my motto is that I try to live by is money comes and goes, but the memories you make will last forever, which I think is so true. And I know my money will come back and I won't struggle as much as I do, but I think that's a part of taking the risk of being a creative. And I know other creators within my own circle who do struggle, who still work your typical 9-to-5 jobs just because they haven't been able to get out of it, because at the end of the day, those are considered more stable jobs, and you know, the money is consistent and it's, for a lot of them, good money. At the end of the day, everybody in this space does struggle at one point in their life, whether they want to admit it or not. And that can be, you know, struggling with relationships, money, getting jobs, being consistent, finding friends, their mental health, and being vulnerable. The people who make their life seem so perfect are probably the ones who struggle the most. Being vulnerable to the world is very scary. And this video isn't me telling you, oh, like, go share your entire life story to the entire world right now. What I want for you guys to get out of this video is that no matter what your struggle is, just know that you are not alone and that there is someone else out there dealing with the same struggle. And if you guys haven't noticed this, I've talked about it a little bit on my Instagram back 2 Novembers ago, but when I went to Peru, me and my girlfriend had done ayahuasca, and one of the things I had taken away from that experience was being able to be more vulnerable. So with that, I did get a tattoo on my hand that in my own writing says vulnerable. And it's just, I think I placed it there, 1, because of an insecurity, but 2, it's always there to remind me that, like, it's okay to be vulnerable no matter what you are sharing, because at the end of the day, you are allowed to feel how you feel. That probably was a little bit of a heavy topic, but I definitely think that it's something a lot of creatives within this space need to hear. I know a lot of creatives who do struggle with this aspect, and I hope that, you know, I inspire someone. Thank you guys so much for listening until the end. It truly means the world to me, and thank you to everyone who answered my questions on my Instagram. And just know that this space right here is a safe space. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if there are any topics that you would love for me to discuss, drop them in the comments. Yeah, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.